that kind of ruined it for me, at least on that end. That's me personally. Who, anyway, different. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I played through it again like a few years ago, and I was just like, everything makes sense in a way. Like, I'm willing to accept it, but I think it could have gone better gameplay wise, for example. And the story, I think that was when it jumped the shark.
Yeah. And you think MGS2 jumped the shark?
Yeah. No.
MGS4 definitely jumped it. Hell, they had freaking launch mechanisms to go into Outer Haven.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna accept this because video games.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even had the boat with the Snake Rushmore, the Mount Snake Rushmore thing, which was it was cool, I guess.
That was cool looking, but man,
again, it was just like
it tried too hard.
Yeah, it's too much, too video gamey now.
Which I get it, video games, but man, that was some weird shit.
Yeah, it was.
Or it even really like the Liquid Ocelot thing.
Oh, let's not even go there.
Liquid Ocelot. And his whole, yes, nanomachines. No, it wasn't nanomachines. It was actually me just thinking I was liquid.
Yeah, and then
just to fool the S3 system or whatever the hell
Patriots,
it was. The Patriots. Which, I'll give him that.
Yeah,
it's still kind of dumb.
Yeah, valid, but dumb, yeah.
What's another? Oh, that's where Big Boss comes in.
Yeah, Big Boss.
That was a good surprise at the end.
That was actually, but although it was spoiled, because if you watch the launch trailer for MGS4, which you should do later.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
pull it up later.
Okay.
And I'll show you, but
I guess that's for the folks at home. You can check that out.
Check out the launch trailer for MGS4. If you watch carefully, they actually ruined the surprise there.
How dare they? How dare they? Yeah, I didn't even remember that. Holy crap.
Yep. I didn't realize it either until when the launch trailer for MGS5 came out.
Yeah.
People were talking about it, and I was like, all right, I guess I shouldn't watch it. And then so somebody showed up the watch it before me on the internet, and they were like, yeah, this is spoiler free. The only thing they hint could be a possible spoiler is what we talked about, Skullface being Snake, but
possibly.
Yeah. But that's for later.
Oh my god. Damn it. How dare they? Yeah, but the Big Boss thing, that was a good surprise, which is a good segue to the Big Boss retrospective. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Snake Eater.
Yeah. Now, that is single-handedly my favorite game.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Because it messed with some convoluted stuff.
Yeah.
But it kept it centralized at that.
Yeah, it was actually at that point the timeline wasn't really screwed up then. Because it was before MGS4. MGS4 pretty much just ruined almost everything.
Tried too hard.
Yeah, then Peace Walker came in.
Peace Walker fixed some of it.
Yeah.
It added some other weird stuff too, but it fixed quite a bit of that.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to Snake Eater, I think Snake Eater it's probably the best MGS game to ever come out.
So far. Because who knows if MGS5 can live to it. Live up to it at least.
That's true. That's true.
Because if it does, then, well, there you go. You have your new winner.
Yeah.
But MGS3, just the fact that it's essentially a spy movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
CQC is introduced here.
Yep.
The boss.
Which is funny. Not the boss, but CQC, because if you remember correctly, in MGS 1, 2, you never had CQC, so it's like...
Yeah, you just had punch, kick.
Yeah, punch, kick.
And
so
and then Snake learned CQC magically in MGS4.
Magically. Yeah.
It's like, he didn't know that in MGS2, but let's just put it in MGS4 because MGS3 had it.
Yeah, you know what could explain it?
Nanomachines.
Yes.
Of course it
yes.
would. God, it's like the midichlorians of freaking Metal Gear.
Dang nanomachines.
hate that. I hated that explanation from episode 1 of The Phantom Menace. It's like, hey, so this kid, he's got a high metachlorian count. He's
Yeah.
totally the chosen one.
Yep.
And then he kills 30 kids in the third one. Anyways, back to MGS3.
Yeah, we should do a podcast about Star Wars one day.
Oh, that's
Or
gonna be
maybe,
an episode.
Yeah, maybe when the 7th movie comes out.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Hey, there you go. A teaser for a December show.
Future reference. Anyways, MGS3. So that's the point where, you know, Snake finally becomes a man,
Yeah.
so to speak. Like he fought in the Korean War.
Yeah.
I think that's part of his backstory.
No, I think he actually started in World War.
No, because the Joy, aka
it-
the boss, and like her Cobra unit, they were World War II.
Yeah.
And
No, I remember because I think I read something along the lines where Naked Snake was in Bikini Atoll or something with nuclear bombs test.
yeah, he was in that. But I think that's after World War II.
Is it? I'll have to
Probably,
make sure.
yeah. He did fight in the Korean War apparently. I don't know where it says that, but apparently it's out there.
Yeah.
Then that's when he does, Virtuous Mission,
Virtuous
Snake
Mission.
Eater,
Yep.
and then he has some questionable times until Portable Ops.
Yeah.
Which Portable Ops, that's when it's like he goes to
Portable
South America.
Ops 2 years after.
No, that was in 1970.
1970.
Yeah.
Huh.
So around that time, actually 2 years after whatever happened there, Snake apparently goes in a coma, and that's the Les Enfants Terribles project.
Yeah, which I was really hoping they'd explain that in between, but
Probably won't.
yeah, because I think if they try to explain it, it'll just
That's just
ruin
the-
almost every single thing again.
Oh yeah.
Which I guess, makes sense.
Yeah. What's the other one? Yeah, the Portable Ops. That's where he gets his money from. Aside from the Philosopher's Legacy. No, that Portable Ops is where he gets his money to
Yeah.
fund his army.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no denying that has to be canon.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't put it that way.
Because it's like, well, how is it that, if you're going to deny Portable Ops, what's the deal with, you have Snake,
Yeah.
Operation Snake Eater, all that, and,
It doesn't make sense to just jump the timeline for Peace Walker.
although,
right?
if you really think about it, they do go in increments of 10 years.
Yeah.
It goes 64,
But wasn't
74, 84.
wasn't Portable Ops reference in Peace Walker? Because I think
Vaguely.
I remember Miller saying
Vaguely.
something that they wanted to leave that San Hieronimo behind.
Yeah, they vaguely reference it, and that's when we're introduced to Miller for the first time in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because he was in MGS. He was actually in Metal Gear 2 as a consultant.
Yeah.
That was the real Miller. And then in Metal Gear Solid 1, that
He
was
gets-
Miller /
'cause
Liquid Snake.
Apparently he gets killed by an assassin, which
That's
something
yeah.
that bothered me a lot actually. Cause
Yeah, it was like,
how the hell did he kill Miller? Well, I guess because he has no arm.
and
and leg?
no leg? Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it,
I guess.
the profiles they have on the codec, you don't see any of that.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, did Miller actually have an arm and a leg during MGS1, or they never mentioned it?
they never mentioned it.
Hmm.
Ever.
So I guess
I know he was an instructor,
Yeah.
but that's about it. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah, so
really... Yeah.
So I guess they kind of just retcon the idea of him having a whole body.
Yeah. Which, that's just,
Yeah,
that
there's-
is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Peace Walker happens, and that's when, shit really hits the fan. Because you're dealing with nuclear deterrence, you're dealing with Snake being unsure of of the boss still being alive.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, you shot her in the middle of a freaking
Yeah, and then,
field. How
Yeah.
could you be unsure that she's dead? Well,
Yeah, and then you just see it's the freaking
then it's
tube.
then it's an AI pod.
Yeah.
Which
No,
okay.
no, it's an oil barrel.
It really is. It's an oil barrel
It's
with
an oil
hard
barrel,
drives.
yeah. Man, I was watching one of those movies and on YouTube where you just basically show the important cutscenes of the game, and I was just like, really, this is it?
Yep.
Like,
I was fine with it.
yeah, I was fine with it too, but I think gameplay wise, I was just like, you have a time limit, and then you just have to like go
Pull out
around
the-
select all the hard drives or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of anticlimactic.
The only reason why I played that more than Portable Ops, because at the time when I had Portable Ops, I did play the hell out of that.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I was like, well, the control scheme is awful.
Yeah.
Because the PSP is awful
Mm-hmm.
with controls and like 3D cameras and all that. So when they released Peace Walker, they had a different setup of
Yeah.
like controls, and that suited better. And it still gave you cramps, but
It's a
it
PSP
worked.
design.
It was ugh.
Yeah, pretty sure it was a PSP design.
But I put so many hours on that profile, just having to, like unlocking stuff and fighting all those mechs,
Yeah.
all those Metal Gears. That made the game like last longer than it should have.
Yeah.
And just having to unlock all that stuff, like stealth camo, you can unlock stealth camo of all things.
Yeah.
Unlock these cool weapons that help fight the tanks
Yeah.
and all those, or even captured tanks.
Could you Fulton a tank in Peace Walker? Because
Well, that's complicated. Because and then the many playthroughs I did with people online was you have to take out everyone first.
Yeah, or
and
they
like
shoot it down. Right?
yeah, because it's like you have to, and to S rank a lot of these, it's a pain in the ass because you have to tranquilize everyone and Fulton everyone out,
Oh, what the?
and that can be upwards of like 60
Yeah.
or 100 soldiers.
You have unlimited Fultons?
You do to an extent because you still have to like call in your air support.
Oh, okay, so it's the same thing as Found the Pain then.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you know if you're playing with like 3 other people, and you all are Fultoning everyone, like all the characters that you Fulton in that mission, they'll go to your mother base.
Yeah.
But that's like again upwards of like almost 100 soldiers, and then the captain comes out, and then you Fulton him, and then you capture the tank or the armored vehicle.
Yeah.
Like S rank it, but man, that is a pain in the ass. That's one thing I am not looking forward to if they have it in the Phantom Pain.
I don't think they do. From the gameplay I've seen of people who have the copies of the game early, bastards.
I know.
It's like
How dare they?
you could do it, but it's more like limited to the outposts.
Yeah.
The,
Upgrades
the
to your
areas.
Fulton.
Yeah.
They even have this wormhole thing from like the
Yeah.
forward operating base demo.
I hope that's limited to the forward operating base because I think that would open a can of worms that just basically ruins everything more than MGS4 would. Because how would you have a
Yeah.
wormhole in 1984 but not have a wormhole in
It's like
2007,
it's like his
2008?
iDroid. His
His
iDroid
iDroid
is way too advanced for 1974 or 80 or 1975 to
Yeah.
like 84.
and then Metal Gear ST84 is like
That's
it has a
scary.
freaking blade and then
That's scary. I just saw that and I was like, well, shit.
yeah there one explanation I read was that it's because Hal is a terrible scientist and Yui was better, which I guess you were willing to accept that. That's how
Yeah.
ST84 is badass, but then Gray and Rex are kind of terrible.
Yeah. Hal, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Make better Metal Gears.
And
Well,
now-
he didn't really make Ray. He did more Rex.
Yeah.
Make a better Rex there, Hal.
Yep.
What's wrong with you? No, I'm kidding.
And now we can go to the theories finally.
Theories? Oh, boy.
So
That's...
yeah, one of the theories I was hitting earlier was Big Boss being Skullface.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
And I really hope it's just an implication
Yeah.
of what he can become.
Yeah.
Because Skullface went full blown like angry whenever they invaded his country and like
Yeah.
changed his lifestyle or whatever. Like, who knows what Skullface was up to when he was a child,
Yeah.
and they forced him to do stuff.
I remember when everybody thought he was Vulcan.
I thought it was Vulcan too because of the burnt face
And then
part.
somebody like Vulcan shows up in the trailer.
Yep.
And I'm like, what?
And the flame being or whatever
Yeah.
that's like in
Yeah, I
the
think-
Phantom Pain teaser.
Yeah, they call him the Flame Being. He looks almost exactly like Vulcan.
You're like,
is he?
that's got the same outfit as Vulcan.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's totally not Vulcan. Yeah, it's not Vulcan. It's like, he's got the same outfit. He's got
Yeah.
the angry look. He's got the bullets. Because if you remember from MGS3.
Yep. And then the third child was with him, which
Mm-hmm.
could be Psycho Mantis, but
I'm going with yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say too.
I'm going with yes because, I mean, it fits with, like, the time frame.
Yeah.
Because Psycho Mantis wasn't, like, some old dude either
Yeah.
when he was in MGS1. But, he had a ton of scars.
Yeah.
He looked pretty gross.
Yep. He did.
He's probably
Well,
going
he
to
looked
get
grosser
those.
in Twin Snakes, just because.
Oh, it is.
Everybody
It's
looked terrible in
pretty
Twin
bad.
Snakes.
I can attest to that because I do own Twin Snakes.
Oh, God.
The bastard child of the Matrix and Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like, it looks great.
Oh yeah.
It plays great.
Yeah.
The
metagames
cutscenes
too
are
easy.
terrible.
Yeah, the cutscenes. Yeah, the same stream I was talking about.
Mhm.
They were actually playing Twin Snakes during the Gray Fox boss battle. I was just like, God, this voice acting is terrible.
I prefer the original where it was like you couldn't really pinpoint his accent,
Yeah.
but it was still one of those like Gray Fox, he went through some shit.
Yeah.
But then you have like, yeah, I'm Gray Fox. I'm all dark and foreboding. This is the Twin Snakes version. Yeah, Snake. Hurt me more, Snake. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I need an adult.
Yeah, speaking of Gray Fox, one of the theories was, I was saying earlier, that the big boss we're playing is a clone or some kind of thing where we're actually playing as Gray Fox pretending to be Big Boss.
Yeah.
I like that theory, especially because you do go to Africa in the game.
Yeah,
And
but
it would go in line with where
but
He's,
Gray Fox was in Mozambique.
yeah.
This isn't in Mozambique. This is in Angola.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
if I remember correctly, one of the spoilers, well, not really spoiler, or something was hinting that where Snake goes to Rhodesia. You know
yeah,
where Rhodesia is, right?
uh huh.
You're the most hated character of all time.
Yeah, that's right. Stupid
And
Naomi.
it would go in line with Big Boss killing stuff over killing her parents if he does go. Her parents if he does go to Rhodesia.
But I think Gray Fox killed her parents.
Is it?
Yeah, Gray Fox killed her parents.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 'Cause if we're playing as Gray Fox,
gotcha.
then- You know.
Yeah, I see. I see where you're going.
Yeah,
with
that's why I
this.
think it's a valid theory. Should I confirm that it's not or it is? Or should we just leave it?
I
Let the
think that's
players
one of those you
experience
just
for
leave
themselves?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because yeah,
Yeah, because the internet's a cruel place.
it is,
And so is human curiosity.
yeah,
So I looked up the Ishmael stuff.
yeah,
This is where you could put like a big sensor jump or something, or we'll just spoil it right here. Who knows?
yeah. Skip the up to whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, no. Let's just say it. Screw it. It's already close to launch time. People are gonna find out eventually. It comes out like today is Friday the
28th.
28th.
4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
The fact that we can say this and probably people will know by in 4 days.
Well, I'm hoping to put this up tonight.
Yes.
So
Again, it's just something we read online.
I guess just skip.
Skip to whenever we start talking about something else.
Yeah, I will let you know.
I'll talk about big old cookies.
I'll put in a description where to skip if once we're done talking about this part.
But instead of doing that, I'll say a big old cookie. That's your cue.
Yeah, that's your cue to skip now.
Yes. Big old cookie. Okay, so Ishmael is you.
Yes.
You create his face.
Yeah. And then literally 2 seconds later.
You become Big Boss.
Yep.
You are Big Boss.
Yep.
So the head transplant crap from Twitter,
Yeah.
where they kept talking about that, I was like, that's odd. That's interesting. Wait a minute. And then whenever they said that, and then it's the whole, yeah, Ishmael is you.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like,
Okay.
I kind of, at first, I was like, nah, this isn't right. It can't be right.
Yeah.
But then as I, more interpretations of it, and I guess it would actually go in line with everything else, because if you remember, Big Boss doesn't die in MG1.
Mm-hmm.
And if that, and
then they put that whole like, from, if it's really someone else,
yeah,
and they really adapt it to like Big Boss's theories or whatever,
yeah,
and they go crazy, and he makes Outer Heaven,
yeah,
it makes sense that they send Solid Snake out
Yeah.
to kill him.
yeah, because Big Boss sends Solid Snake.
Big
kill-
Boss,
Big Boss.
real Big Boss,
Yeah, sends Solid Snake to kill
Fake
Big
Big-
Boss. Yeah.
yes.
It would make
That
perfect
makes sense somehow. And that's when Big Boss, like the real one,
Yeah.
becomes something he hates, which is like a manipulative bastard.
And I guess
He becomes that.
And I guess it was also go in line with where Miller starts to distance himself from him, because I remember
Yeah,
apparently he called Big Boss
He's a monster.
in MG2,
that's
right?
an MG2. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. It's like, okay, well, the Big Boss that's there, at least in MGS5, that's the one that makes Outer Heaven,
Yeah.
and that's the one that goes all renegade, and that's the one Solid Snake needs to kill.
Yeah.
MG2, on the other hand, that's the real
Yeah,
Big
the real
Boss.
Big Boss. Which you kill with a lighter and hairspray. which
Yep.
is Ironic as hell.
Awesome. It's awesome when you do it. But that also aligns with Big Boss dying that way.
Yeah. Well,
And
not
then-
really dying.
Yeah, because then they salvage his body, and then
Yeah.
they do some ransom stuff, and then they
Yeah.
reconstruct it with
Yep,
Solidus's
Solidus,
body,
blah,
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 blah, blah,
blah.
and
Yeah.
machines. But that's the theory that starting to make sense. I'm not a fan of it, but,
Yeah.
I'm in it for the gameplay
Yeah.
at this point.
No, like, there is another theory that to me makes, I think it would be a lot better that you're actually not playing, that you're not Ishmael, you're somebody else completely.
As in, it's
That-
just a figment of
Yeah.
Ishmael is the figment of Big Boss's imagination.
Yeah, there's another one, because apparently it could be that you're the medic who, if you watch the Ground Zero's ending,
Mhm.
the helicopter
Yeah, there's
explosion,
that.
there's a guy shielding Big Boss from
Yeah.
the helicopter. So that's one thing.
And
So I
that
guess-
was also voiced by Kiefer Sutherland.
yeah. So I guess you couldn't say we really spoiled anything, huh?
I mean, it's just one of those implications.
Yeah.
Again, like from today, 4 days from now will be September 1st.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when people will start finding out the real
Hmm,
reasons and the real theories and
So like I said earlier,
confirmations.
10 minutes into the game, you'll figure you're thrown into this mind F-wordery.
Yeah. And this morning, I saw the video of the.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, that's where I was like, son of a bitch.
Cause I've just been watching the gameplay streams, like of them, like
The
how you-
gameplay streams are pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, I was watching one where the guy was trying to fight quiet. And
Oh,
you could
wow.
actually skip it, but he didn't. That was amazing because She knew where you were. Like your head would just pop out, and bam, she'd just shoot you from like wherever long. And if you try to get close to her, like she'll run away into somewhere else. She'll disappear to like another part of the map. So basically, you need a trank gun as soon as you can. This is a gameplay advice from us. Get a trank gun the moment you can research weapons. Because by I think it's like mission 11 where you encounter Quiet.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And so, how could I say this? Quiet is a legendary Pokemon, confirmed.
Wait, it's not Chico?
No.
Oh man.
No. That was a. That's surprising. Okay, been a big old cookie. All right, now we can talk about like some of the weirder stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about the Ishmael stuff. That's up to the audience to listen to. But now we're gonna talk about the stupid theories.
Yeah, stupid theories.
Like Chico being quiet.
No.
Chico's dead now. Okay, let's just put that.
There's actually theories saying he's not dead.
I really hope he's dead.
He's probably just in another area of the game because I know Amanda, Cecile.
Cecile kind of went back to France.
Yeah, she went back to France, and Amanda is like off somewhere with her mercenaries, I think.
Yeah, but I think she's just fighting her own fight.
Yeah.
And then Chico is hopefully dead because
he's horny for Paz.
Yeah, and Paz is
horny for Snake.
It was, as Miller would say, a spying bitch.
Yep.
Yes. Where they played him like a damn fiddle.
Yeah, but wasn't he playing the fiddle himself?
He did in some memes.
Man.
He did a lot of that in memes.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, Miller. But it reminds me of that one thing from the secret ending to Peace Walker.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
did he play the fiddle himself?
He did, and he was like, "Hey, Zero."
Yeah,
I got Big Boss in my pocket. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Wait, he's buying a suit?
Yeah, a suit of lies.
Well, I guess that would explain why he's wearing a suit in MGS4.
Yeah. He's gonna like the way it looks. He kind of guarantees it.
Yep.
Oh my god, freaking.
Let's go back to the crazy theories.
Yeah.
What else was it? So we talk about Gray Fox being the character that you played, the Ishmael stuff, which you could go back if you want to listen to
Ishmael
it.
Stuff. Yeah, that's a stuff.
The medic, which kind of falls in line with it.
That one makes more sense.
Yeah. Chico being quiet.
Chico being quiet is just the stupidest one.
Yeah, it's stupid. The other thing is the two Eli's on the helicopter or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That's one thing that.
Yeah.
I think
the speculation is that it's one is David and one is Eli.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because if you look, they have the same red cloth thing on their left shoulder, and then
that's their berets.
Yeah, and then they have blonde hair, which if you everybody knows.
Well, yeah, because David.
Yeah.
He had blonde hair, and then they dyed his hair.
Yeah, but that also wouldn't make sense because wasn't David in London in a carnival park playing around? Something like that.
I don't remember that.
I was reading something where basically, you know they were separated at birth, right?
Oh yeah, they were birthed by Eva, Big Mama.
Yeah, and then the Patriots apparently sent him, or I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but I think they sent him off somewhere, and he didn't become a child soldier.
No, I don't. Solid Snake probably not. But
Solid
Liquid
had
Snake, yes.
Yeah, I think Solid had a normal childhood.
Yeah.
And then Eli had the craziness, which apparently is a copy of the Lord of the Flies, and he is a cannibal.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also implications of Moby Dick for MGS5's whole story, hence the Ishmael and Captain Ahab stuff.
Yeah.
And they're saying like, yeah, Captain Ahab is Big Boss because he's chasing.
Do you want to do another spoiler?
No.
No.
I think we're done with talking with Ishmael
I think we
stuff.
can talk about that as a spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler because you're gonna figure it out literally the moment you open the game. But
Yeah.
Miller calls you Ahab. Ahab.
It's Ahab.
Yeah. He calls you that when like in the hospital scene, which happens which is literally first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
He calls you that, and that actually fueled the speculation of a different big boss that you're playing or whatever.
Yeah.
And
because if you read Moby Dick, the narrator is Ishmael.
Yep.
But it could be a case of this is no spoilers. This is just one of those things where it's more of a comparison to Tyler Durden.
Yeah. Ooh, Fight Club reference.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We just went there.
Tyler Durden and the narrator.
Yeah.
And it's the same person, just different actors.
Yeah.
One's Brad Pitt, and the other one is Edward Norton, who is a racist in a movie called American History X,
which is a great movie actually.
Where he curb stomps people. And
it's great.
It's gross.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from the greatness of the movie, but
and then Brad Pitt. He adopted a bunch of kids with Angelina Jolie,
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft. It makes sense.
Yeah, we should do another. That's another idea for another show. Tomb Raider. Have you played them? Well,
no, I have not played all of them. I've only played
the new one.
I think Legend.
Oh, okay.
That's about it.
All right.
I liked it, but that's
yeah.
Well, but other than that, I think we touched up on some good points of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Some spoilers,
some big ones, especially.
Yeah, if you do listen to the spoilers, the one thing I can say is that I don't want to say if it's right or if it's false, because everything I've read online.
Yeah, it's more like with a grain of salt kind of thing.
You have to experience the game for yourself.
Yeah.
And also from the Let's Plays I've seen and all this other stuff, when you play the game, do note that you have to question everything you see.
Yep.
It's one of those games where
it pulls an MGS2.
Yeah.
That's a wrap for our first episode of Phantom Podcast Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about what was it? What did we all talk about? Launch trailer.
Solid Snake.
Screw you, Naomi.
Big Boss.
Screw you, nanomachines, I guess.
Oil barrels.
Acting
as AI.
Yeah. Thanks, boss. Thanks, the joy.
And then game theories and
Chico
spoiler.
Chico is quiet.
Yeah. We'll end on that. Chico is actually quiet.
Sex change. Yep. That's a taboo.
Yeah, that's why you will be ashamed of your words.
Oh, there's a reason she's wearing that.
Yep. And you'll be ashamed of your words.
You'll shove those words in your mouth. Gross. That sounded gross. I kind of took it too far there.
Yeah. All right.
You know it's taken too far. Naomi, sleeping with Otacon.
Oh God.
And then betraying him, and then saying, "I'm sorry." It's like, shut up, Naomi.
It's actually like a parallel.
It's the worst. She's the worst.
Oh wait, I probably shouldn't say that. All right.
She's the worst.
All right, we're done. I think we're done here.
Oh, I just remembered that theory. That's a real one too. We're not gonna say it.
Yeah, we're not gonna say it.
But
screw you, Naomi.
We are done.
The worst.